Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Talk Virgin to Me. Today, we are talking about shore things, and we are talking about Samantha's guide to my favorite and all of the things that I have done with Virgin that are called shore things. I was going to call them excursions, but they don't call them excursions. So that's where I don't want to actually call it excursion, but that's if you've sailed before or, sailed any other cruise line, they call them excursions, but Virgin calls them shore things. So we are going to talk about those today. We're going to talk about all the places that I've been and what I've been on so that you can know what I love and what I enjoyed and what I didn't enjoy, I guess, or maybe won't do again, or maybe, we'll wait a few years before we do it again. So anyways, let's get down to it. The stop that seems to always happen in the Caribbean, and the most popular stop, I should say, is Bimini, Bahamas, which is the beach club for Virgin Voyages. And majority of the sailings actually stop there. However, if you're, if you're sailing out of San Juan, you will not be going to Bimini, unless you're doing like a repositioning back to Miami. They sometimes stop in Bimini. But if you're sailing out of San Juan, you will not have Bimini. You'll have all the lower Southern Caribbean. So you will not get Bimini on those San Juan sailings. So, but you can do definitely just come back and do another one because Bimini is awesome and you can't miss it. So Bimini is actually one of my favorite stops, as I've mentioned before. I love it. It's super gorgeous. We were just there. Gosh, what was it, like 3-ish weeks ago? Maybe 4 now. For about 4 weeks. Oh, no, 3 weeks ago. And the water was the bluest I've ever seen it. Now, don't get me wrong. It's always blue. It's always gorgeous. But it was just beautiful. It was postcard beautiful. It was pictured beautiful. It was heaven beautiful. It was things that you would never, ever, ever, ever imagine you would see in water. That is what the water looked like. It was absolutely gorgeous. So go to Bimini and get off the ship. Don't stay on the ship because people will be like, oh, that's just boring out there in a beach club. No, go. It's so pretty. So the things that I've done there, the thing that I like to do the most, I talk about it all the time, is rent a cabana. So apparently everyone's listening to me because every time I go to rent a cabana now, it is sold out. So, but I always book late, which is why I don't get there. So honestly, with all of these shore things, if you find something that you really, really, really want and you can't live without or can't sail without, I should say, make sure that you book it right when it opens at the 120 days or the 35. I can't remember what Rockstar is. 135 days. So make sure you book it then because it will sell out. So like the cabanas sell out. So I will tell you my favorite cabana, we've talked about this before, is the Lagoon Cabana. I love it. It's the one that's right in front of the pool. There's only 4 of them, maybe 5. I'm probably counting wrong, but I think it's 4. And it's $500. So it seats about 6 people, 2, 4, 6. Yeah, 6 people comfortably. Obviously, you can have more people in there. That's completely up to you. But it does say that you should only have 6 people in there. It comes with a cabana attendant, $100 bar credit, and prime location in my world. So while you cannot see the beach, you will be able to see the pool and all the fun in the pool, which is a great time. The pool splash party, the float party, all of that will be happening right outside your cabana, which is super fun. And you get to go have a drink, come back, go have a drink, come back. It's awesome. So I do love the Lagoon Cabana. I know I talk about it all the time, so we'll leave that one alone. The kayak tour for 2 is something else that I did. I wouldn't say that I'll be doing that again anytime soon, not because it was terrible, but because it's really just not my thing. And that was $150 for 2 people. So if you go to book it, know that you don't have to book it twice. It's $150 for 2 people and you're going to be in the same kayak basically. So I would say that it was great if you love kayaking. Like it was amazing. The takeoff from the beach was really cool how they did it. So you're on like this plastic, like I want to call it a slide, and it had rollers on it and they just pushed your kayak into the water. So that was super fun. But yeah, kayaking's not my thing. I need a motor. Let's put it that way. I do like to be on the water. So I did enjoy it. We saw this enormous starfish that was, the thing was as big as my head. Honestly, that's how big the starfish was. And I'm not exaggerating. So we saw some marine life, which was really cool. And it was very, very shallow where we were. So it was really cool. So I do highly suggest it if that's your thing, but I won't be doing it again. So the golf cart, I've also done the golf cart. This is not with Virgin. I've talked about this before as well, but this excursion, and I don't want to call it excursion because it's really not, it's just an adventure. It is not with Virgin. So Virgin, when you get to the Bahamas, or Bimini, I should say, they bring a shuttle, and the shuttle's first stop is actually where you can pick up the golf cart. So you can purchase a golf cart there. It is cash. I'm assuming it's just cash now. I don't know if they do Venmo or anything like that, but it is cash, and you can rent a golf cart there, and you take the golf cart all over the island. Well, the island's tiny, and there's only like one road this way, one road that way. So you can't get lost. There is no getting lost on this island. So don't worry about getting lost. Kelly and I did it, years ago, like back in the day. That isn't really back in the day, but we might have done it last year. Actually, I think not last year, 2 years ago. In June or July. 2 years ago this July, we did it and had a really, really good time and laughed and giggled and had the best time and just saw a lot of things. There is a beach at the end of the road. If you just keep going to the end of the road where the road stops, it literally stops at a beach. It is the most gorgeous beach that you'll ever see. So I highly suggest the golf cart. But people also say that there's great places to stop and have fresh fish and rum punch and all those things. So we didn't do that, but we keep talking that one of these times when we don't have a cabana, that is what we're going to do again, because it's been a while since we've done it. So look for that, because we're probably going to do it here soon, I'm sure. But this next time that we go to Bimini in a couple weeks, we actually have the cabana. So, which means I'll be planted right there with my computer and going back and forth is what normally happens. So the other thing that we did was super fun, and I love a good jet ski. We jet skied. So it was called Jet Ski for Two. That one is with Virgin. It was $250 for two people, so you don't have to buy it twice. Again, this is another one that you just pay the price. But there's only one driver, and there's no switching. So they did promise some people that we would have some time to switch, and they didn't end up switching. So, and I don't know if that was their fault, Virgin's fault, whoever, not Virgin's fault, but the excursion hosts, I don't know if it was their fault or what, but those people didn't switch. And I don't know that they cared, but I like to drive. So if you like to drive, your partner likes to drive, then get two different jet skis. But $250, I think, is a lot, honestly, for one jet ski. So you can find that cheaper somewhere else, like in the Keys or something like that, definitely. But $250 for two is a good deal, I think. And it's a long excursion. Like, I can't remember how long it was, but we went all around that bay, that's on the other side of the dock, or the port, but I call it a dock because it's really not a port. There's nothing there. You just get off to open air. So, and there's a bay over there, and we went all around there. We actually came out and saw the ship all the way out, and there's like a sunken ship, like a sunken, I don't want to call it a treasure ship. That's what I was going to call it, but it looks like that. Not too far from where the ship docks. So we went around there, and that was super cool too. And then we ended up going back. So we had a really good time, but it is led. So it is a led tour. So you're following along, following the leader. That's what I felt like. And I like to jet ski where I can just do whatever I want, go wherever I want to go. So I will say a lot of the Caribbean places that's how they do it, that you follow. In Key West, same thing, follow the leader. There's no just kind of hanging out and just going on your own, which is what I like to do, because I like to explore on my own and get myself into trouble is what I usually like to do. So know that if you like to get yourself into trouble like I do, that's not happening on this jet ski tour. You will be following the leader and singing that song in your head. So the other thing that I did in Bimini is, and I did not do this all in one trip, just so you know, these are over many trips that I have done these different cruises. Views and Blues mid-afternoon cruise. Look at that rhyming. That's like a mouthful too, right? I can't even say it. Views and Blues mid-afternoon cruise. So that was $100 per person, and it was basic. I will tell you that. So it came with some rum punch. It was super basic. We literally got in this like pontoon boat that was large, and we slowly went out that bay back there. out to the ship, took some pictures out there, and turned around and came back. That is the extent of it. Obviously, there was music playing. There was Caribbean music, and we had a good time. Don't get me wrong. I love being on the water, boat, ship, whatever it may be, kayak, I guess. I do like being on the water. So I was happy to be out there just drinking and having a good time. But I will say it's super basic. If you just want to do something and you just want to chill and be on the water, then it's definitely something you should do. But I wouldn't say that I do it again. And I haven't since then. Not because it's bad, just because it's basic and boring for me. I like a little adventure. So moving on from Bimini, and also let's just talk about Bimini for a second. You really could just go to the beach club and do nothing at all and just really enjoy the beach club because it is included in your voyage fare. It's not an extra fee. To purchase alcohol, it's the same thing as being on the ship. They'll take your bar tab and all that stuff. The food is included there. So honestly, you could get away with not spending a dime on Bimini and just going there and enjoying the beach club because everything's included. The chairs, the umbrellas, all of that's included. It's not an extra $10 for an umbrella. It's not an extra $10 for a chaise lounge. It's all included. So know that you can get off at Bimini and not spend a dime, except for maybe some alcohol, like I said. So that is Bimini. The next place that we're going to talk about is Puerto Plata, woohoo, Dominican Republic, if you've never been. So a lot of people confuse it with Punta Cana. No, we do not go to Punta Cana. They go to Puerto Plata. Forgive my accent in the way that I say the Spanish words. I do not speak that. So it's going to sound very not right, probably. Just some of you are like, probably, that's not how you say it. Yeah, I know. Trust me. I'm from Rochester, New York, my friends. So I know that's not how you say it. But anyways, we do not go to Punta Cana. We go to Puerto Plata. And there is a beautiful, absolutely beautiful, brand new pier there. And it's really, really nice. Honestly, you could, again, just get off and just hang out there if you wanted to. There's shops and bars and a lazy river and a pool. The lazy river says it's free, but my guess is they want you to buy drinks and food and whatever there to supplement the free. Same thing with the pool. Usually it's get some drinks and it's free. So, which I guess wouldn't mean that it's free, but you get the point. So that's what's right there at Puerto Plata. What I've done there, I've actually been there 3 times, maybe 4, but I think 3. So one of the times we did with Virgin Voyages, one of their shore things, we did the eat, drink, and dance, a Dominican fiesta, which was super fun. That was $85 per person. And, they picked us up in a shuttle. We went to, hold on, let me think this through. We went into the city. Oh no, we went to the rum tour. That's what it was. We did a rum tour first, which was super fun. So there was, a very famous rum company, family owned, there, and they made, they had their own rum tour. It was absolutely cool. They took us into the barrels, how all the barrels were sitting there in the dark. I mean, it was really, really neat. And then they took us in and showed us, video and whatnot. And then we had a rum tasting, which of course is always fun. And then of course they take you through the gift shop and say, buy all our rum. And the rum was super cheap. So if you like rum, super cheap. It was like $10 for a bottle of rum, which I thought was really cool. And then after that, they took us into the city. We got to see the Umbrella Street, which is amazing. We went to some shop that they tried to sell us quartz and something else. I don't remember. Amber, I think it was. And then that's when they drove us very far to the dance portion of our shore things. And so we went to this little, I want to say it was like a, oh gosh, it was in the forest. I will tell you that. Or the rainforest. I have no idea, but it was definitely out there in the country. And I want to say it was like a farm, but not really, but that's how, it felt big like that. So they had a kitchen and a whole spot where you sat outside with tables and whatnot. And as soon as we came in, there was people dancing. And so they had us dancing almost immediately. So we were doing all kinds of dances, which was super fun. And so as soon as we were done dancing, they sat us in tables and then they fed us, and it was a buffet. The buffet was good. It was basically a beef stew of sorts over rice and avocado, and there's fruit and veggies and all that stuff. It was a really good meal. I just tried it. I didn't actually end up eating it, but Kelly had it and she said she really liked it. So, but the dancing was super fun. I loved the dancing. I love to dance anyways, so it was great. There was a dance off between the men and the women, which was super fun. It was a really, really good time. And then they drove us back, and then we just went straight back to the ship after that. So I like to do shore things that are a little bit shorter, just because, well, usually I have something to do during the day, so I try to get that done and then do the shore thing. So you can do a shore thing that's like 4 hours. You can do a shore thing that's like 8 hours. You can do those different shore things. I'm a big lover of the shorter ones, the 4 hour ones. So everything that I'm telling you is like a shorter shore thing, except this next couple, because I did them on my own, not with Virgin. So the next one was a private tour. We went to the, oh gosh, how do you say this, Josh? Here we go. Get ready. Damahuagu Falls. Oh gosh, the waterfalls that are famous. Look it up. They'll come right up. They're famous waterfalls in Dominican Republic, and Damahuagua. I don't know. But so honestly, if you type in Dama, it will come right up. Waterfalls. They're basically waterfalls, and we ATV'd. So it was a private tour. He came. His name was Rodrigo. Oh my gosh, what was his name? Rigo. Yeah, but his full name, I think, was Rodrigo something. We'll post it. I'll have Josh put it up here, like all his info, because he was awesome. He picked us up in a beautiful brand new van. The van fit about like 8 to 10 people. He asked me beforehand where I wanted to go and what I wanted to do. And I said, I want to do the waterfalls in the ATV. And he said, great. So we took us straight to the waterfalls. And on the way there, he's telling us all about the country and the city and the differences, politically and what's going on and all these things. It was really, really cool and very interesting. We got to the falls and we joined another group. So that part wasn't private. We ended up joining another group, but it was pretty small, the group that we ended up joining. So it was maybe 10 of us on this thing, which was great because I can't imagine much more, honestly. But I will tell you that I'm not a jumper into things. Like, I don't like, water, I guess I don't like to jump from heights, basically. I've never done it before, I should say. And this was a lot. So let me start by telling you that the walk up was a lot. Like, if you're not physically fit, you will have a hard time with this. It's not easy. They stop. They do take breaks. There's actually there was benches along the way, and they told us to bring water, and I was like, I'll be fine. Well, I'm so glad that I did, because I thought I was going to die halfway up there. I was like, oh my God, this is terrible, because it was a hard walk. I mean, you're walking up a mountain, up a hill, whatever it may be, but it was a mountain basically, but you're not walking up the full mountain, obviously. So it was quite a walk. And it's funny because one of my agents did it, maybe a couple weeks after me, and she wrote me and she goes, I thought you were exaggerating by how hard it was. And she goes, I couldn't believe it. She goes, that was really, really hard. So just so you know, I mean, it's really hard. I'm not exaggerating. Everyone that are my friends that did it, they're all physically fit. They all work out. They were like, wow, that was not that it was hard. Like we were dying, not that we couldn't make it, but we worked hard. So know that. We're sweating. I mean, profusely sweating. We're huffing and puffing. It was a climb. Let's put it that way. So we get to the top and they're like, you made it. And so they make you rest right there. And you're thinking, oh, this is great. We're almost there. We can jump in the cold water. We're going to cool off. It's going to be great. They're like, have some drink. They're like, water, not feeding you alcohol. And they're like, calm down right here. Just everyone, take a relaxation moment and drink your water. So we did. And then they're like, all right, let's go. We go to leave. And I'm thinking, all right, it's probably going to go down just a little bit. Oh no, we still had to go down. So it was if we went up to go halfway down, and then we started the whole jumping in the waterfalls and swimming down. So not only did we go up all the way, but we then had to go down halfway. So now your legs on the other side are now working their, muscles, and you're and the stairs are uneven, because obviously it's natural stairs. It's things that they've built into, there's rocks that they've put there. There's, branches or whatever, however they've made these stairs. They're uneven, some of them. So, I mean, it is, I don't want to use the word treacherous because that would be exaggerating, but I'm trying not to exaggerate to either scare you away from it or, make you go running for it, I guess. So, I would be interesting to hear what you guys think about it afterwards, just if you do it, just to hear what you think. But, Once we did get to the spot where you jump in, those were very, very high jumps. I will tell you that. So there is a chicken route. I may have taken it a few times because that's quite a high jump. So the chicken route is okay. You just climb down, which is nice. And then there's also slides, which are really awesome. So the slides were super natural slides. I can tell you I had many bruises on me afterwards, on my butt, on my back. But it didn't hurt. Like you weren't like, oh, that hurt the whole way down. Like you'd hit it and be like, oh, that kind of just bothered me. But it's not like, you're like, oh my gosh, that hurt. But it was really, really cool. It was probably one of the coolest things I think I've ever done. Just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And then once you're done going down the waterfalls, there's still a hike back. The hike back is very much flat, easy, not too difficult, but it's still a pretty decent hike back to where, you originally started. So those are the waterfalls. We also had a photographer with us. He was amazing. He took pictures of us the whole time, which was awesome because, we had our phones in their little cases and whatnot. And I'm sure they weren't the greatest. I took a bunch, but they're kind of blurry and whatnot. So, I highly suggest that. And then the other thing that we did was the ATV ride. So he drove us from the waterfalls down to the beach. And we got on ATVs, and I won't say too much about this other than we got freaking, we were so dirty. So bring clothes you don't care about, clothes you're not going to wear again, shoes that you don't care about, because we were dirty. There were shoes ruined, there were shirts ruined. We were an absolute disaster. It was so muddy. I don't know that it's always like that. It could have just been the way that it was that day or prior the week before. It just might have rained a lot. Oh my gosh. But the fun that we had getting stuck in the things, just amazing, amazing time. So I highly suggest that. And I highly suggest the private tour. And like I said, we'll post it up above me at some point or next to me. I don't know how Josh does it. Gelman does it. But so you can see the tour that we did. So the other thing I did in Puerto Plata was a day pass. I did it at the Wyndham Viva Heavens. So it was fun. It was relaxing. We had food and drink was included, obviously, in the day pass, and it was fun. We had a good time. We drank a lot, hung out with everyone. So we had a good time, I think. So that would be something you could do if you just want to get off the ship and you just want to enjoy the beach. That's a really cool way to enjoy the beach, is to do a day pass and just go, because the beach was really, really nice. We walked up and down it. It was really pretty. So I highly suggest that. So the other place that we're going to talk about, which is one of my favorites, I've only been there once, but I actually going in 2 weeks, is Grand Turk. And Virgin doesn't go there very often, I have to be honest. It's like a needle in a haystack to find this actual itinerary. But when you see it, jump, run, buy it, get it, because Grand Turk is just beautiful. So the way that it usually works, the actual itinerary is Grand Turk. So it's Sea Day, Grand Turk, Sea Day, Bimini, which is an absolutely phenomenal itinerary, honestly. So it very rarely happens, but it's happening on April 12th, which I'm beyond excited about that I'm going back again. And last time we were there, we did the catamaran, sail away, snorkel, and beach. That was so much fun. And I've talked about this before, and I don't know if you've heard me say it. I didn't love it because it's a lot of people on one catamaran, and we all know, based on what I said, that I'm not so sure I like lots of people anymore on, around. I like to kind of be able to be in charge of my own time. So we almost didn't get on this excursion, but I am more than happy that we did. So I will tell you, once we got off the ship is right there in port. It's a very short walk right into port. There's a Margaritaville. There's a bunch of shopping there. There's a bunch of stuff to do there, but the beach is right there. So you do rent chairs there. So you would need to, spend the $10 or whatever for the chaise lounge in the umbrella, whatever it may be that they're charging, $10 a piece, I'm sure. But we ended up walking the beach, and we were hounded many times with, do you want a chair? Do you want a chair? Do you want an umbrella? And I'm like, no, we're just walking. So we were headed towards, I wish I could remember it. It's a famous, I want to say that it was a famous fish bar. And we were just going there. We're going to have a drink and hang out because everyone swears by this place. And so it's pretty far down the beach. And we went there and had a really good time, just hung out. It was beautiful. The weather was gorgeous. It was hot that day, but it was really nice. So we waited there for a little bit for our shore excursion, or our shore thing. And this shore thing that we did, the catamaran, sail away, snorkel, and beach, was $120, by the way, per person. And we did it at 1:00. So there was 2 times that you could do. You could go in the morning or you could go in the afternoon. And the morning was sold out, so we ended up in the afternoon, and that's why we ended up walking down the beach to this bar, which was super fun. So I highly suggest it. Oh, and I can't believe I can't remember what it is. Maybe we can post it somewhere once we look it up. I don't know. Again, I don't know how this tech stuff works. Maybe he can like post it across the bottom. Galman's giggling at me. I don't know how it works. Anyways, so we went there at 1:00 and there was so many people coming off there. And I said to them, I was like, so did you like it? I like totally like questioned every single person coming off. I was like, was it good? Should I do it? And they're like, yeah, do it. So we ended up doing it. And I loved it. We had the best time. They brought us out to the middle of the ocean. I'm joking when I say that, but they brought us out to a little reef area. And if you wanted to snorkel, you could totally go snorkeling. I did not. It was a little rough for the day. And he said that the snorkeling was kind of far, the way that you had to get to it. And so I was like, I don't know. And it was rough that day. So I was like, I just don't know that I want to swim out there and have to swim back. I did get in the water on the other side and just float in the water and hang out and just chat with people and keep cool, basically is what I did. So I swam out there, but I did not float or snorkel. So, and they feed you, and they said, actually, this is a funny thing. They said they were not going to give us any alcohol until after people had snorkeled. So I thought that was really interesting. As soon as everyone got back on the ship, which they probably let everyone snorkel for about a half hour, I would say, maybe a little longer, I'm not sure, but I feel like it was like a half hour. Once everyone got back on the ship, the rum started flowing. It was rum punch, and they were like, here, drink it all. And they just kept giving us rum punch, which was awesome. And then they brought us to a beach, and they actually beached the boat. Beach the boat? Right? Beach the boat? I don't know if that's it. Anyways, they totally brought the boat up to the beach, and then the stairs came down and we just walked off into the beach. So we got to go hang out there on this gorgeous beach. There was nobody there really. We hung out there, and they kept bringing us drinks out to the beach, which was fun. And they were pouring stuff in Kelly's mouth, which was hilarious. They were pouring drinks in Kelly's mouth. I was dying. And he was like, do you want some? And I was like, nope. Because it ended up going down her. So I was like, yep, no, I'm good. But yeah, that was super fun. So I highly suggest it. They played music. We had a good time. There was some dancing on board. I think we did the Macarena. I think we did the wobble. I mean, it was a lot of fun. So they did a good job with it. It was super fun. And I highly suggest that one, even though I didn't want to do it. So see, I get out of my own way sometimes. So then we've also so we're going back to Grand Turk in a couple weeks, and we don't have anything planned just yet. We're thinking about renting a boat, so I'll let you know how that goes because you can rent a boat, and I think it would be phenomenal to do that there because the water and the beaches are just gorgeous. To be on the water there, I know that a lot of people say, I don't want to get back on a boat. I just came off a boat, but it's completely different of being on a small boat, obviously, than being on a ship. And what you get to see and experience is completely different. So if you like water, you like, being on the water, I would 100% rent, private boat or something like that. And in some of these places like Bahamas. Oh, Bimini. I want to do it so bad in Bimini. I haven't done it yet. That's on my list. I don't even know if we can because it's so small in there. I'm not sure that there's anything even available to rent. And then Grand Turk, I know there's definitely stuff. So we're super excited about that. So that's possibly what we're doing. So that will be more to add to that. Costa Maya. I have honestly only walked around the port there because I've only visited once. And the second time I was supposed to visit was on accident because Hurricane Nicole had come and Virgin had rerouted us. And so we were headed to Costa Maya. And we never got off because there was no space because all of the ships went there. And so Virgin got kind of axed out and we're like, nope, you don't get a slot. And so we couldn't get out, which was fine. But I've only walked around the port there. I want to say that's the port that I keep saying I'm going to get a massage because there's like a spa right there. There's an outdoor spa. Galvin's saying yes. So I would love to get a massage there. So if massages are your thing or the spa is your thing, it's this really cool stone outdoor spa basically, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's really pretty. It's right on the water. I highly suggest it because the prices aren't bad at all, and honestly it would be really cool to have a massage there in that spot and how pretty it is. So it's one of my things I'm going to do at some point when I get back to Costa Maya, some point hopefully. And then Cozumel, also staying in the Mexican Riviera. Cozumel, we actually did forgive me again, Shock Ton, Cenote, and Playa del Carmen, and that is with Virgin Voyages, and that was $100 per person. So in Cozumel, you port in the island, right? But this Shaktan and Cenote were over on the mainland. So we had to take a ferry over there. If you are faint of heart when it comes to this or this, do not do this. Because from what I understand, it's a lot. I should say a lot like that. Like it's a lot. It's rough a lot, basically, from what I understand. It's very rarely flat. This is what I hear. I don't know if that's true, but it was very, very rough when we went over there, and there was more people getting sick going over there. So if you get motion sickness, know that that's how you get to most of these excursions. So with shore things in Cozumel, make sure that if you don't want to do the ferry over to the mainland, look for things that actually say Cozumel on them. And they do say that. They'll say Cozumel, city tour, or Cozumel beach, or whatever, relaxing beach thing. So pick those. Don't pick any of the cenotes or that kind of stuff, because you will be going on the ferry and it is rough. So I did fine because I'm fine on that, but Kelly was not feeling good, and I did see a lot of people not feeling good on there because it's rough. But this was such a cool tour. So I've always wanted to do a cenote. It was really, really cool. They took us into these caves, and the water was freezing. I was like, totally, that's hard for me. But we wore wetsuits, if I remember correctly. No, I think it was a top. The top was a wetsuit. And we jumped in. Some of us had flashlights or whatever, so because it was dark in there. But they did a really good job with it. It was a very long excursion. It was so much fun. We had a really good time. I should say still 4 hours, because that's what I stick to. But the actual excursion itself was long. It was probably 2 hours, honestly, but super, super fun. The caves that they brought us in, the places that we swam, just really, really cool. Everything was dark. They shut off the lights at one point, and we were all dark in there just floating. And that was a little freaky for me, but I survived. And then when something would touch me, I tried so hard not to scream, but of course I jumped. So, I mean, that would send people into a tizzy too if other people did that. So I tried really hard to be on my best behavior, but it's very hard when you turn the lights off and there's nothing. You can't see anything, and you don't know the people that are around you. And the water is moving water. So anyone can come up to you, and because normally when they turn the lights back on, and when I say lights, it's the flashlights. There's no lights in these caves. When we turn the lights back on, you're like, oh my gosh, how did these people get here? Like, who are you and how did you get here? Because I was by that person over there and they're long gone. So it was very strange. It was a very strange feeling, but super cool, absolutely beautiful. We used the flashlights to kind of look at all the stalagmites and all that stuff. It was just beautiful in there. So I highly suggest that. The water was cold, so know that took me a while to get used to, and I don't know that I ever got used to it because I don't do cold water, but it was still fun. I had a really good time, and I'd do it again in a heartbeat, 100%. Just cold. And then after we did that, they walked us around the Playa del Carmen shopping area, basically, and we just kind of hung out and shopped there, and then we caught the ferry back at 3:00. They said catch the ferry back at 3, and so that's what we did. We caught the ferry back, and let's see, then we just got back to the ship. But yeah, so I highly suggest that in Cozumel. But in Cozumel, there's a lot of shore things that you can do. There's a lot of cenotes, there's a lot of ruins, all that kind of stuff you could totally do. So if that's your thing, those are longer excursions. Those are much longer excursions, and I just did not want to be on a bus, and they're far. So that's the other thing too. So like once you get off, the crazy boat ride, you're now getting on a bus. So I don't know if that's, something everyone wants to do. So keep that in mind. The other thing that I find with the shore things is kind of like making sure I have the right stuff. So Virgin does spell that out for you. So make sure you really read what the shore thing says. It'll say you'll need walking shoes. You'll need water shoes would be better. You'll need a towel. You'll need this. So make sure you really pay attention to that because that's super helpful. Because sometimes I'm like, should I have worn flip-flops? Like, I don't know where I'm supposed to be going. So it does say that in there. So go ahead, please look at that and make sure you're prepared in case, You shouldn't be wearing flip-flops and you should be wearing sneakers because now you're scaling a mountain. Who knows? And flip-flops aren't going to help you. So the next one is one of my favorites. It's Key West. I talk about it all the time. You probably could recite honestly what I do there every time anyways, because I've said it so many times. But majority of the time I really just drink around the place because it is the most fun town you'll ever visit. And a lot of people, it's so funny when I tell my clients, I'm like, oh, there's this really great 4-night sailing voyage and it has Key West in it. They're like, oh, I don't want to go to Key West. And I'm like, why? I have so much fun there. So don't poo-poo Key West. Go and enjoy it. It's absolutely beautiful. I've seen it on land. I've seen it on water. I've seen it with a lot of alcohol. I've seen it with no alcohol, and I just love it. So totally don't poo-poo it because it's so much fun. So things that I've done there, I've rented bikes, not through Virgin. There is a bike shop that's right there, right on the port. I hate to call it a port because it truly is a dock there again. And there's a little bike shop right there. There's also jet skis right there. You can also rent fishing boats there, right there in the dock. Super cool. So you can rent bikes. They were super cheap. I want to say it was $21 for the whole day. And we biked all around the place. So much fun. Had the best time. I will do it again. Hands down, I'll do it again. I wouldn't even think twice about it. That's how much fun. Don't do it in the summer because I'm sure it's super hot. I'd choose to do it a little bit more in the winter because the weather's a little better. I don't even know if I'd do it in the fall because sometimes the fall is super hot. I think I would choose winter and a spring. Yeah, that's probably would be your best bet because the bikes are going to be very hot in the summer. So the other thing that I did was I rented a private boat. It was called After Hours. It was amazing. We had the best time. It was a yacht-ish. I wouldn't say it was a yacht, but it was a yacht-ish. So much fun. I would do that again in a heartbeat. Tons of fun. They served us food. They gave us alcohol. We just had the best time. They took us out to the spot. They anchored. We could have swam, but it was super cold and it was a little rough that day as well. So we had no desire to do it, but they did put out this floating dock and we sat out there on the floating dock and just enjoyed the sun. I'm telling you, it was one of the most relaxing things I've ever done. So know that it was amazing. And I'm sure there's other boat rental places that you can do, but this one was top notch and phenomenal. I loved it. What we've done with Virgin is the Duval Crawl, which is $70 per person. And that's basically just, they take you around. They take you from bar to bar. You get one drink in each bar. And they tell you a little bit of history about the city, and they tell you about the places that you're eating at, or drinking at, I should say, and then it ends. It's pretty short. I would say it's about 2-3 hours, and then they send you off on your merry way. So the Duval Crawl was great. It was probably the first thing that I did when I ever went to Key West. That was like the first shore thing that I ever did. Honestly, I think it really was the first shore thing I ever did. I liked it, but it's not needed, I will say, unless you want that history. You want them telling you about the city, which is great. So you get both, drinking and history, but it's not needed. You could totally just do that on your own. They didn't bus us anywhere. It's a straight walk from the port. Same thing where I was saying that, obviously, if you listen to me, you know that I do definitely drink around Key West. So you could totally do that on your own. And stop at my favorite bars. I'll tell you what they are. One of them is the Tiki Bar. I love that one. Get the key lime pie shot. That's phenomenal. I like Rick's, which is right around the corner from the Tiki Bar. I also like Irish Kevin's. Sorry, I'm looking at it in my head, which is why I'm closing my eyes. Irish Kevin's is phenomenal. Both Rick's and Irish Kevin have live music. Both of the performers there, which are usually the same ones, are great. Irish Kevin's has food. So if you want any sort of fried food at this point, if you've drank too much, that is the place that you could get some food. And they're fast too there. So it's all fried food, bar food. There is a bar that I love that has the fish that everyone tries to throw the quarter in or a dime or whatever it is in his mouth. And I want to say it's the Saloon. You should go in and ask for the real skeleton that's hanging behind, real, not kidding, it's real, hanging behind the bar. So it's like a pirate, I think. Totally joking. I don't know if it's a pirate or not, but definitely ask them about that. So it's what is the name of it? We'll have to look it up. Captain Tony's. I thought it was okay. Captain Tony's. Sorry, totally forgot about that. So that one's also, it's right near the Tiki Bar. And then so Irish Kevin's is another one of my favorites. And then from Irish Kevin's, I go straight to the Whistle Bar and what else is it called? It has 3 names. the Whistle Bar, Garden of Eden, and the Bull. So each level, excuse me, each level has a name. I don't know which one's which, except for the top is called the Garden of Eden. So if you ever heard me talk about the Naked Bar, that's where it's at. So if you want to see the Naked Bar and hang out and be naked with other fellow naked people, that is where you should go and hang out. The other cool thing is on the second floor, I say this all the time, I'm just repeating it. Darts is super fun on there. I've beat Gelman a couple times playing darts, and he says he's going to up his game so that he can beat me next time, but we'll see. And that second floor, they give you doubles. So 2 for 1, right? Am I saying that right? 2 for 1. So I always say that they get you drunk on the second floor, so you go up to the third floor and take your clothes off. I don't really know if that's true, but that's just the way I say it. And then the first floor has music. And then we usually go back to the ship the same way each time. And that's by Garbo's, which is apparently super famous for tacos. I've yet to try one. I swear we have to do this next time, Josh. We need to try Garbo's. But we always find somebody there, and they're always yelling at us as we're going by, because then we always pick them up. What usually happens is we're stumbling by, we see them, and they're like, oh, you're going back to the ship. We pick them up, and then we all stumble back to the ship together, which is super fun. So definitely check out Garbo's. I hear it's phenomenal. I've never eaten there, but I hear it's great. So we'll hopefully be able to try that next time, because that's what everyone says. There was something that I was watching or talking to somebody about, and they actually mentioned Garbo's to me. When was that? And I was like, wait, what? I was like shocked, because I'm like, how did you know? They were from like California or something ridiculous. I'm trying to remember. It could have been a client. I can't remember what it was. And they like live in California, and they'd never been to Key West, or the one time they're like, no, we went. We had the best time. We thought the food was phenomenal. So every time we go to Key West, we have to go to Garbo's. And I'm like, wait, what? I can't believe I've been to Key West. I can't tell you out of how many sailings, played 24 sailings. I bet I have been to Key West like 18 of those times. Like, I mean, I might be exaggerating, but I'm not sure. That might be right. So honestly, I've never been to Garbo's in that time. So anyways, try it. Let me know. Let me know what you think about it, because I'll laugh. So that's Key West. There's so much to do, obviously. That's what I've done there. Those are my favorite things. Oh my gosh, we should sing that song. My favorite things. Aruba. So Aruba's next. We just went to Aruba a couple weeks ago, and we didn't do anything there, but I will tell you that place was just absolutely beautiful. We rented a day pass on resortpass.com, and we did Riu day pass. We did it in the adults only section. So there's 2 sections. There was a kid section or family section and adults only. And since I was on an adults only cruise, I wanted to make sure I had an adults only section or hotel. So we did the Riu day pass, and we weren't the only ones. I feel like half the ship was there, honestly. Every time I turned around, I saw a band, and I was like, oh, Virgin. And we met a ton of people at the bar. There was a pool bar, met tons of people there. They were all Virgin sailors. So it was really funny, because almost everybody was there. So it felt like the whole ship went to the Riu resort pass. So we did that. That was super fun. And then honestly, Aruba, you could just hang out and do nothing. Like, I shouldn't say do nothing, but do whatever you wanted. It's such a cool place. The food was phenomenal. The nightlife was amazing. So I highly suggest doing that stuff. Don't get back on the boat early. Don't eat dinner on the boat. I know that's terrible for me to say, but hands down, eat dinner off the ship, have fun, go experience the nightlife, and get back on the ship, because it was phenomenal. I had one of the best days in Aruba. I just enjoyed it, and it was just beautiful there. We went to Curacao as well on that sailing, and we did a Virgin Voyages shore thing, and we did the Hado Caves in Mambo Beach. That was $85. It was super fun. The Hado Caves was small. They don't let you take pictures in there, but we had a really good time. It was very hot. We had to climb a bunch of stairs to get to the top. Super fun, though. I highly suggest it. Short excursion again. I think we did it in the afternoon. Yes, because we visited the Sandals in the morning. So we did it in the afternoon. So it was like a 4-hour excursion. And then they took us to Mambo Beach, and they had chaise lounges for us. And we just laid out. We picked a lounge and laid out and had a good time and drank. So I highly suggest that one. It was a good little taste of Curacao, basically. But we had already been all over Curacao because we went to Sandals earlier. So, but the Hado Caves was really cool. And that was with Virgin. And then the other thing, then we went to St. Kitts, And St. Kitts, I did the solo ATV Explorer with Virgin, did their shore thing with that, and that was so much fun. So this ATV ride was not the same as the one in Dominican. I did not come out just totally disgusting, which is what I planned on. I mean, I wore clothes that I didn't care about. I made sure that if I came out totally head to toe mud, that it was going to be okay. I ended up wearing my water shoes to make sure that I didn't get my sneakers dirty. I ended up like making sure that if I came out head to toe mud, I was going to be all good. So it was really cool. I highly suggest it. They took us like halfway up the mountain there, and we could see Nevis from there, and it was just beautiful. The view was phenomenal, and we were super high up. So it was a really, really, really good time. I highly suggest it if ATVs are your thing. They did it, I want to say like every couple hours, they sent out another group. And it was just a really cool experience. It was hot. Make sure you wear sunscreen or a swim shirt or a SPF shirt, because it was pretty hot and the sun was just beating on us. There is no shade whatsoever because you're out in the open the whole time, which is fine. Just be prepared for that. And there was no mud, really. So honestly, I don't know that it would have changed had it rained earlier in the week, whatnot. We did go through a bunch of, it could have been muddy, but honestly, there was so many holes, like I want to say potholes, but they were not, it was in dirt. So it could have been muddy, I guess, but I don't think so based on the holes. So, know that I don't know that you'll get too muddy on that, but prepare yourself just in case. And in Martinique, we also did our own private thing. We rented a boat through, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Yes, Captain Didico. That's who it was. We rented a boat through Captain Didico. He was phenomenal. The boat was amazing. There was maybe 13 of us, 14 of us. I can't remember. And the boat fit like 18 or so. It was perfection. They fed us. They gave us alcohol. And when I say they, it really wasn't they. It was just him. So he fed us all this stuff. I mean, it was so great. We had a really, really good time. I do highly suggest this like private boat renting. I know it's hard. You have to do your own research on that. Virgin doesn't offer that. You actually have to, hey, Goo, and look the stuff up. And that's basically what I did. That's how I find all this stuff, because I don't know anyone that rents boats. So I do it all as well. I basically look it up and do it that way. So I do highly suggest renting private boats. Next time we go back to St. Kitts, though, I know I'm going backwards, I will be renting a boat and going over to Nevis and just doing it privately, because it was just so beautiful that I have to see it in person. Not in person, just like up close, because further away, it was beautiful, but I just want to see it closer. So that's what I'll be doing back in St. Kitts, is renting another boat. But I highly suggest that if you have the time, have the money. It's not cheap, I will tell you that. It's never cheap when you rent a private boat, especially in the Southern Caribbean, because a lot of them are reserved for charters. So they want you to charter that for like a week and sail around the islands, basically. So they try to really make their money back on these 4-hour excursions. So those are my guide to the Caribbean shore things. Excuse me, sorry about that. So that's my guide to the Caribbean shore things, and all the things that I've done in the Caribbean. I feel like that's like not even anything, honestly, but I swear I've been to Key West and Bimini more than anything. So there's been a lot of repeats in there. But if you're doing any of these sailings, all of this stuff is great, and you'll be super happy with a lot of it. So let me know if you need anything. If you are just listening for the first time, I am going to reintroduce myself. I always do it at the end, which is silly. I am Samantha with Fabulous Adventures Travel Company, and I am happy to help you book your next Virgin voyage and answer any questions that you may have. So you can follow me at Samantha-Fabulous Adventures Travel on Facebook, or Instagram at Samantha's Travels. And I look forward to helping you have the best voyage ever, the best Virgin voyage ever. So let us know if you have any questions or comments or anything. I love listening to them and hearing about your stories. So let us know, and we'll see you next time. And I'll leave you with my favorite phrase, which is, you float our boat. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.